Jacksonville, Florida, and the annual site of one of the best rivalries in the sport. Not a lot of distance between the Gators and the Dogs, and once a year they come here close to the state line and draw their own battle lines. Hello and welcome everyone to a game that we've been eagerly awaiting, as we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on another SEC rival, the Florida Gators. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, here with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get this thing rolling. Georgia likely to kick it deep to get things started. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. On the ground, it's ball. There he goes. Guys, let's chat about Florida. Every team needs those big dudes up front, and man, they got a mauler from the high school recruiting ranks. Big four-star D lineman. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Well, you see the excitement from the fan base and the reaction. It's all over the place, and you understand why. Because just being able to have that size at that position, play the defensive line, is so important for these college teams. They'll fit right in.
They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
That's a really good-looking run. I tell you, it's not easy to start at the running back position for the Florida Gators. When you think of where they can recruit in the state of Florida and really nationally, they've got a lot of the best around the country in high school wanting to come play here. So it says a lot if you're RB1 in this offense, but this dude shows you why. Speed and playmaking ability all day long.
Off the play fake on first down. The throw. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it?
Doesn't it always seem like that ball is on the ground for like 30 seconds? You got 17 guys running at it in slow motion. Like, I got to get the football. Offense, very lucky to get that football back.
And the Gators now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. That's reeled in. It's Jackson. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And quarterback, receiver on the same page. Nice job seeing the zone, understanding the drag route concept. Easy pitch, easy catch.
A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a third and long. This one from the 44. Back to pass. It's Lagway. Makes the grab. They'll move the chains. Good execution on third down. They've got it at the 41. What a nice job to get through your progressions and find your man open on the drag.
And you can't do that without good protection up front by the offensive line, giving you a little bit of time. And you're right, the QB had time, saw the matchups, finally saw that drag come open, completes the strike, gets the first down.
And I think they'll give him 2 on that one, 2nd and 8 coming up. David, as a Georgia legend, when I say Florida, what comes to mind?
Ugh. I mean, that's the easiest question you've asked me yet. I mean, there's nothing that I ever liked or enjoyed about the Florida Gators, just playing in that rivalry. You know, it's not a neutral site, by the way. It's in Jacksonville, Florida. Like, that's not neutral. It's way closer to Florida. It's way closer to Florida fans. But this rivalry, I'm telling you, every single...
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception.
That is the perfect start for a defense that has really struggled against the pass this season. They're in the bottom portion, okay? Have struggled, but opening drive, making a statement. Maybe this creates some momentum. Maybe this turns the tide for this defense.
Out of the gun, the inside give. Still on his feet at the 45. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. But once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
Oh, he's got a chance. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice gain. And those hairy dogs taking a bite out of another first down.
You don't usually find Georgia teams that complicate things. They know who they are, and it starts with running the football, establishing the line of scrimmage. That's what the Dogs do.
Using his legs, it's Frazier. Not much room to run. Let's give him one to the 33. Let's take a little step back and have a look at Georgia. Big moment in recruiting last week. Four-star defensive back gives a verbal commitment. David, what's his adjustment going to be like?
Obviously, the adjustment of speed is a big deal, but that's why you go get a four-star guy like this. I mean, he's got speed. He plays so many DBs at one time. This is a position I feel like you can transition to college really well. The expectations for him are going to be high.
This is the type of play that decides games. Are you tough enough to convert third and short from the 30? Wants to throw. It's Stockton. Finds his man. It's Bell. He's forced out of bounds inside the 5 and the 4, and they save the touchdown, at least for now.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that play.
Looking for just one more yard. It's second and goal. They're going to run it. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on third here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
Looking to the end zone on third and goal. They're setting up the screen. They've got him now. He almost picked up that first down on the screen.
Yeah, and on third down, obviously, you're thinking pass, pass, pass. A great job by the offense trying to slip in the screen, but the defense had none of it. Great job reacting to the screen, seeing it, going and making a play.
The Dogs will try to pick it up on fourth down. Corners right up on that line of scrimmage. Wants to pass. Touchdown, Georgia! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And that is why timing is so important in the passing game. That is a critical fourth down. Down near the goal line, everything's going to happen quickly. It's got to be a great route. The quarterback has to get rid of it on time and make an accurate throw. Two dudes on the exact same page coming up with a massive touchdown down near the goal line on fourth down.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. These two first met back in 1915, and for much of their histories, they've been sleeping giants. But man, when they wake up, do they wake up?
Well, two programs, obviously, with a lot of history and a lot of great players in the past, but I feel like because of the recent success of both Georgia and Florida in the last couple of decades, this is a game every year that everybody, not just in the SEC, but I think around the country, have circled because of what this game means.
Well, and it's so cool when you're a fan and you played in this game like me and Jesse both have. You can go back to a singular moment, like run, lens, out to win a national title. Big games decided by big moments that live for.
He hurls one deep down the left side. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a third down. Oh, he had him out there, and he was trying to compensate for that speed, but just a little too much distance.
That's just greased lightning, so you think, I can't overthrow this guy. I'm going to throw it out there and let him run underneath it just a little bit too far for the speed side.
The Gators need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on third down. To the air, it's Lagway. And they fail to hook up on third down.
And third and long, everybody is pinning their ears back and coming after the quarterback. You try to throw screens behind those. Sometimes they're very successful, but this time, defense played it great, and the play went nowhere.
That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. Keeps it on the draw. He never had a chance on the draw. Tackled almost as soon as he got the ball. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Back to pass. With the catch, it's Thomas. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On third down, he drops to throw. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Well, after giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, they had a little bit of a come to Jesus with their defensive coordinator on the sideline. I don't know what he said, but he, I think, just invoked the fear of God into this defense, because this 3 and out has been sensational, dominant. This is the way they've got to play moving forward.
And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. Time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Power football with the run. And he is stopped behind the line, and that's how we'll finish the first quarter. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. They'll leave it with him. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
We'd love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Gators come to the ball trying to pick up this third and short. Off the RPO, quick throw to the right. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Well, we know this offense hasn't been able to get it going on the ground so far in this game. Now they're trying through the air, but give this defense credit. They've got a really good game plan. They've got all 11 guys on that side of the ball executing perfectly. Fantastic fantastic job in the back end that time, being in position and making sure that thing fell incomplete.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Leaves it with the running back. They shut it down quickly, but he gets 2 out to the 18.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
It'll be 3rd and long. Might be changing the route. Looking to throw, it's Lagway. He tries to take the top off. He's got it down the left. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. They'll run behind the big guys on the right. He has the first and still on his feet. And he's brought down after a nice gain. And the Gators back to the line on 1st down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. They'll go to the ground. Works his way ahead for about 3 yards. Stopped at the 23.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Got it into the red zone. Dragged down at the 18-yard line.
And this is a big 3rd down coming up, man. This team's trailing, haven't had a great first half, but this offense has a chance to cut into the lead or tie this football game. Big 3rd down coming up.
The Gators are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, trying to impose their will and move the chains. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
After another clutch 3rd down conversion, it's 1st and goal. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against one of the top 25 defenses stopping the run.
They keep pushing forward, now back to work on 2nd and goal from the 6. Firing to the right, complete. Good throw and catch, takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You've got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You've got to be aggressive, and you've got to make tackles.
They played keep away with the football, but if this defense can make one more stop on 3rd and goal, they might force a field goal attempt. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Gator! Well, they started with horrible field position, but ended with perfect field position in the middle of the end zone.
It all comes down to execution, Reese. You've got to have guys going out and doing their jobs. You saw the offensive line up front. They were physical. Skilled players made it happen with the ball in their hands, and the quarterback really showed command on that last drive.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
teams colliding, fellas, in a game of massive importance. Let's catch you up to speed. Clemson is down right now, but I'm not convinced this team doesn't have a C.J. Spiller-like big play in them. Any change in momentum, and this is a brand new game. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Duke. Any major changes in this ACC standoff, you'll hear about them first from us, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Guys, let's chat about Georgia. Not sure if you guys saw this, but they had a big-time four-star running back give a verbal commitment last week. What's his transition going to be like, David?
First of all, everybody saw it. It's all over social media, right? The excitement of landing a guy of that caliber. And just, I mean, that creates excitement in the whole recruiting class in this next cycle.
Just missed on the connection. Incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking to pass. It's Stockton. Rushes on him. Pulls it in. It's Delp. Turning it on. He'll have enough for the first down, and they stop him at the 45.
Yeah, this defense is going to have a plan for this tight end, especially when he lines up in the slot, because there's a lot of different routes he can run, and because of his size and his wingspan, he's very, very difficult to cover.
The Bulldogs have it with a 1st and 10. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
You know, defensively, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz. That time, they dialed it up into the run play, and the linebacker able to make a nice tackle.
The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Wants to go up top. Unloads it left. A strike downfield. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40.
I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Wide receiver comes in motion. Off play action on 1st down. With the catch, it's Thomas. Down to the 26-yard line before they ride him out of bounds, and this defense is on its heels.
And first down for the offense.
Ball spotted at the 27. It's 1st and 10. Play action. He's got an open man. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
When you play zone coverage, you got a wide receiver that's a beast. It becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
On 1st down from the 13-yard line. Looking to pass inside the red zone. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Under fire. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
And good Good job by this defense. Great job in the secondary. Eyes on the quarterback. They took away the first option, made him go to option 2, made him go through his progression, and then they got time to get home and get a hit on the quarterback.
Going up top again. Another incompletion on third down.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. And you could see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
It's good. Easy call for the refs. And with that, they've taken the lead.
And you want a touchdown, and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Looking to throw, it's Lagway. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And it falls in complete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Pocket breaking down. Reels it in down the left side. Open spaces. Touchdown, Florida. He got loose and it was lights out after that.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. And I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. They wasted no time on that drive. Got it on their 25, and 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. That is just a sideline credit. Throw, catch, toe drag, everything you want.
It's so hard to get to quarterbacks when they get the ball out of their hands this fast. Great job understanding what the defense is doing, right away assessing, hitting the corner route right off the jump.
Open a drive like that, it opens a world of possibilities. First down from the 43. He's going to throw deep right side. It's picked off, and that's number 10.
No doubt, and when you're playing cover 2, you got 2 safeties deep that account for the whole field, right? I got half the field, you got half the field. So they do a great job. You have to see and have good vision on the quarterback. You got to make sure you're breaking on the football. How about the strong safety spinning down, doing a good job seeing the ball and going to get it.
This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Back to throw, it's Lagway. He's going for the big play. Makes the grab on the left side. He's loose. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Gators!
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
And the extra point is good, and they have an 11-point lead. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. 30 seconds of the first half. Wants to go up top on first down. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
High the chains now on second and long. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Lofts one high and deep. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
This is going to be a tough situation for the offense here. Late in the first half, they're trying to find a way to generate some points before going into the locker room, but the defense is ready for it. So the windows are not going to be very big, especially when you're trying to attack vertically like they did on that last one. Downfield completions are going to be tough to come by.
Handoff from the shotgun. He did not make it a stone wall on third down.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Georgia lining up to punt it away. On the move, looking for a little sliver of hope. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. To throw, it's Lagway. Looking left. It's caught. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. The Gators in a good spot here with second and short. Back to throw, time running short in the half. Going deep. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. He'll put total leather and get this second half started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
A nice job by the quarterback there, working through his progressions. Nothing open down the field, so he checks it down to his drag route coming from the slot receiver. They get the completion.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. Under fire. Grab near the marker. It's dealt. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
And the Dogs getting set on 1st and 10. The give to the tailback. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. It's Stockton. Grab near the sticks. It's Delp. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down. Now, last year, there were long stretches in which the Georgia offense hardly looked like a well-oiled machine. And now the quarterback's transferred, new full-time starter in there. I think it's fair to say, David, that the Dogs need more from the quarterback position this season.
They do need more, but I tell you what, they didn't help him the whole spot around, right? The offensive line, running backs, receiver.
Unleashes one deep. And it falls incomplete, and the offense is lucky to have it. Defender right there almost had it in his grasp.
Well, another incompletion, and you can see the frustration building, but you got to give the defense credit. They came into this one knowing no one was giving them a shot because of their record, because of what their stats are on paper, but they're playing better football. They're playing with better effort, and right now they're making the most plays.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Catch in the middle, it's Bell. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
And after giving up that completion, guys, I wonder if the defense is going to decide to stay in zone or maybe mix things up, a little more man coverage, maybe blitz.
They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10. In the red area, it's McCray. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Looking for a man. It's Stockton. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22. Gator fans love to see their teams light up the scoreboard, but they'll take the defense bringing the heat too.
And I think that was a staple, Reese. Back in the day, you had great offenses for Florida, but the teams that really had the most success and that reached the highest mountaintops, they had great defense to go with it. This defense playing well.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be 4th down. And they'll have to settle for a field goal try. And he's already 1 for 1, so this time he'll try to put one through from 39 yards out. Absolute shame. Missed it. My goodness, you need those field goals, guys, to cut into that deficit. We're still at 11.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
To the air on 1st down. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down. 2nd down coming.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's thrown to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? They'll throw again after the incompletion. Right down the middle. He's got the tight end. All the way out to the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 15. Few teams improved over the second half of last season as much as Florida. And Jesse, the biggest reason, the play of the young quarterback, DJ Lagway.
He was just unflappable a year ago, Reese, as a true freshman. We saw that on the field, but even in my time sitting down and meeting with him, he just has a poise and a demeanor and a confidence that you don't see very often in college. This is a different type of dude, and they're expecting him to take the next level, and with that, this program carrying it on their shoulders.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Looking for a man. It's Lagway. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through them. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
Now facing a 3rd and long. The offense changing the play. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. And the Gators decide to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the punt hits at the 8 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll start this drive going to the air. He's open on the right. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the 1st down.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
That's the way to open a drive. Now they'll put it in play just shy of midfield. Off the play fake on 1st down. He'll loft one deep down the left side.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game, and someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
The play action fake. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
That is a really good-looking throw. And you think about the expectation level now for quarterbacks in Georgia. Matthew Stafford was the #1 pick overall. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships. Imagine the pressure on this guy. But when you see throws like that, he makes you believe that he can step up and lead this team to yet another natty.
Shoots it to the left. It's incomplete, and trust me, you will not see that very often from this guy at 2nd down.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the 1st half, but man, you're starting to get now in the 2nd half, and this offense just has really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the 3rd quarter. They got to get it going now.
He wants to throw it again. Catch in the middle. It's Bell. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the 1st down marker.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Remember, they missed a field goal on their last drive, but at the very least, they need to get back in field goal range here on 3rd down. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a 3rd down stop.
That's a really good stop by the defense. Jesse, they need a few more. You've given up a bunch of yards on this drive and a bunch of plays, but all that matters is keeping them off the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's that bend, don't break mentality you're seeing right now, and this is the point where this defense has just got to lock in.
Works the middle of the field. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down.
Well, to heck with being conservative, right? I mean, that essentially would have just been a chip shot field goal with where they were on that 4th down, but they decide to go for it, throw it. They're looking for 6. They're going for a touchdown. They are being aggressive.
Out of the gun, the give to the back. Works his way ahead for about 3 yards, stopped at the 23.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football. You can tell.
To the air, it's Stockton. Using the quick game. They get him down, and that'll be the final play of the 3rd period. Here comes the fourth. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. So we open the final period with a third down play. Wants to throw on third down. Caught near the sticks. It's Thomas. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a first down in the red zone at the 14. They absolutely had to have that third down to keep any glimmer of hope alive.
And defensively, that's exactly what I want. Make you get to third down. The clock is your enemy. Multiple possession lead. That is right where I want this offense.
Leaves it with the back. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Well, you got to give the defense credit. They knew a big key in this one was slowing this dude down, especially after how well he played the last time out. They have been swarming him. They have been gang tackling him and getting a lot of penetration up front.
His drive was clicking along, but now it's 2nd and 14. Looking to fire. Release to the back. Almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. The defense almost came up with a turnover.
And man, did the defense just miss an opportunity that they could have turned the lights out with the lead, get the football back here. Missed opportunity. Maybe this offense now can take advantage and swing some momentum in this football game.
And the Bulldogs need a massive chunk play to move the sticks here on third down. Here's a heat. Hit as he throws. And the big deflection on third down forces a fourth down.
Oh, you know what time it is when the defense gets that stop on third down. Fist up in the air. Nice job getting to the quarterback, putting some pressure on him, hitting him, forcing the incompletion. Fourth down, baby.
Splits the uprights. Good. That'll make it a one-possession game. The lead is 8. So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Now they'll try the right side. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43.
They've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, and there's certainly still plenty of football to go, but this is where you'd love to control the flow of the game, right? You want to dictate everything to the defense, and you do that by running the football. That was a really nice run. This offensive line is firing off late. Looks like they're getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is a good sign for the offense.
To the air, it's Lagway. Got it set up on the outside. Brought down at the 48 after a gain of 5.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they didn't. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football there.
Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And they picked up 9 on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and short.
And this guy really has been a workhorse today. He's made plays when his offense has needed them the most. He's a guy who's reliable. They know they can turn around, give him the football, and he'll go make things work out. And they're going to need him to finish this game. He has to continue playing well after that big run there.
The Gators can really attack on this 2nd and short. Handoff to the single running back. Oh, he's got some space. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage of the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
The Gators pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Here's the handoff. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And that seemed a little off from the start, didn't it?
That was a big-time play, and it was off from the start because of the play he made.
And I don't think it would have mattered who was playing running back. There was absolutely nowhere to go.
Lost yardage leaves them looking at 2nd and 14. Back to pass, it's Glagway. Got his man in the middle. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
And the Gators really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. The give as they work on that clock. Fights his way for a couple, but stopped short of the marker. It's 4th and 1. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Now this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on 4th down. The Gators have enough for the first down.
And that hurts on defense, giving up the first on the ground like that. We're in a one-possession game. You've got all 3 timeouts. I think you got to start burning them here to save some clock.
The Gators come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Down to the 18-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Running back searching for a hole.
You know, every running back thinks about the 100-yard barrier every time they take the field. And this guy, I know he's got it in his mind. He might be the only one in the stadium right now that knows. He's got 97 yards rushing here in the 4th quarter. You know he is begging his coach just for one more carry to get that mark.
Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They believe they can run right here. He's stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I mean, you put the ball in your best player's hands. Like, late in the game, you've got to trust your guy. I'm interested to see what they do here on 3rd down coming up. Let's call it 3rd and interesting, right? Top clock ticking down. Do I trust my QB to throw the football? I got the lead. I want that clock to continue to roll.
Defense has to be frustrated. The offense keeps matriculating and matriculating and matriculating the ball down the field. To the air. It's Glagway. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
If They've done a nice job marching the football down the field to get into this position in the red zone. You throw an incomplete on third down, so the question now, are you going for a touchdown, try to pay this drive off, or are you just going to take the points?
That's a big drive for this offense in the fourth quarter. Now to take a two-possession lead, you got the other offense where you want them. Now you get to rush the passer, make them pass a little bit more, and don't give up those big plays. You're in a really good spot now.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking to throw on first down. Fires left. Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time. It's second down.
Yeah, and the QB never wants to miss inside on an out route, right? You got to throw it to the sidelines. Don't let anybody undercut that. Go make a big play. And he did. He put it outside, put it on the money. I think the receiver needs to do a little better job. They got to secure that catch. He was open enough to make that play.
Right back up top on 2nd and 10. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the fourth quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet, but it's getting pretty close.
They go to the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Motion from the wide receiver. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Big third down for this defense. Listen, you've got to get the ball back. You know what they're doing. They're trying to run the football, but we need the clock to be on our side so our offense has some time. Got to make a stand right here on third down.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
Well, they're not able to hook up there, but considering this guy already has 2 touchdown catches in this game, now the offensive coordinator is dialing up more passes his way, and you know the quarterback, he's got like a sonar on him. He's always aware of where he is, and I like the idea. I'm going to keep throwing this guy the football and see if he can get another touchdown.
They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Dropping back, it's Stockton. Unloads it left. And that is interception number 3 on the day.
Great play by the defense, and they're expecting this, right? In a 2-minute situation, they've got a 2-possession lead. They got a lot of DBs out on the field, and everybody's eyes are just on the quarterback. They're all seeing it thrown, and they're breaking on the ball, and they come away with a nice interception.
And with things in their favor on the scoreboard, the quarterback's favorite play in the playbook. The old kneel down from victory formation. Glasses will be raised across the Sunshine State, a toast to the Florida Gators who take down Georgia in this rivalry game. That will put the wrap on things from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. You've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.